All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for an episode of the Authors Impact Hub. We are doing another author Q&A. I have an amazing author on, Monica Jones, and I'm super excited for you to learn more about her journey and more about her book. I'm your host, Juanita Woodson. And Monica, I'm going to hand the floor to you so you can introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit about your journey and the title of your book.
Hi, everybody. I'm Monica Regina Jones, and the title of my book is 10 Years My Journey with Abstinence. And basically, it's not a how to be abstinence book. It chronicles what initiated my journey with abstinence and the process, the things I've encountered, um, different experiences with people, my mindset changes during that time, what I was thinking mentally, going through spiritually, emotionally, all those different things in a nutshell are in that book. So I'm very, very transparent. And I believe in transparency, and I believe transparency heals. Not
Yeah.
only the person is speaking, but the person is listening also.
Yes.
So that's it in a nutshell.
Yes, definitely. Well, I'm excited to dive into your book tonight and learn a little bit more about your journey. So, can you share what was the pivotal moment in your journey that led you to choose abstinence?
Well, like so many of us young ladies, you get tired of broken relationships. You get tired of giving your body to men because you learn that your body is not a commodity. It's not your body's not to be bartered. I
Mm,
used to use sex as like a bartering system. Like, okay, if I give you my body, if I give you sex, you'll give me love.
okay.
And like it was like an exchange. And that's how I viewed it. And now for a long time I thought that sex was love,
Okay.
from my perspective. But I had to learn that it's not. And sex is very sacred, and you cannot just give your body to a person because you feel like you love them, or you feel
Right.
like y'all may have a commitment down the line, because that may not happen. One thing I've learned too is that I'm a gift, and I have to be careful who unwraps me. You
Okay.
know, you have to be careful who unwraps you, because you're a gift.
Yeah. Definitely. And I think a lot of young ladies need to hear that, especially like teenage girls, right? Especially in today's
Mhm.
time, right? Because everything is just like, show me what you have and not have to do
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? So I think that young ladies really need to hear that. So how has your decision to abstinence impacted your emotional and mental well-being?
Well, I will say that I have more clarity. When I was oh well, how can I say it? When I was, I don't want to say, well, it's fornication.
Okay.
But when I was, out here and being intimate and having these involvements with guys, I was constantly worrying about what were they doing? Do they love me?
Yeah.
Do I matter to them? And I really was not focused on myself. I was all about them. When during that time, I could have been more focused on finding out who Monica is, what does Monica want, what are my goals and aspirations. But because I was, focused on them and giving them my body, I couldn't concentrate on myself because I
Yes.
was trying to keep you, in a sense, which sex doesn't keep anybody.
Definitely. So how did your relationship with God, your faith, how did it help you and guide you in making the decision to abstain?
Well, my relationship with God, because he speaks.
Yeah.
It's not always audibly. It could just be through your situations. And I just remember it was one day I was just tired because I was in this cycle of I would, get out of a situation with a guy, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna be serious about my walk," because I mean, I was still a Christian, but I was struggling. And see, a lot of people don't talk about Christians that struggle with sex, because a lot of single Christians they struggle with sex. because they want to eventually get married. And so, but then that temptation comes and they give in because they feel like, well, maybe if I compromise, it'll happen quicker. And
Right.
you have to learn that no, you don't compromise. If that person wants to leave, let them leave.
Yeah.
Okay. But I got tired and I was like, God, I'm tired. I said, and plus I feel like a hypocrite because I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm going to church, I'm singing in the choir, doing this stuff, going faithfully, being faithful on the, ritualistic things like tithing, showing attendance at church and all that, but I'm struggling sexually. And
Right.
so he was like, you know, I didn't get the Lord is never condemns us, but he speaks to us and he says, okay, well, you have to make a decision.
Right.
So I had to establish boundaries. It was guidelines he had gave me, to establish boundaries. Don't go to any guy's house. Don't At one point I couldn't even have like male friends or anything like that. It was like really strict. It was like I want you to share everything out and just take it day by day. Don't do this thing well, okay, in a few months or he was like, no, do it day by day. And so
Yeah.
day by day, I just, would go throughout my day. I would be more cognizant and aware about what was I thinking about, what was I listening to, what kind of
Okay.
conversations I was having. I had to take inventory of those things because we got to
Right.
protect our ear gate, definitely our eye gate, and we got to be aware of what we're saying out of our mouths.
Right. With this,
So,
the abundance of the heart, right? So the mouth
right,
speaks. So that's really important. Yes. Yeah. And protecting your heart and your mind, all of that stuff is really important. So how has your relationship with friends and family, how did that have your choice? Did it have any impact on your relationship with them, the people closest to you?
well, I wouldn't say my family, no, because it was kind of like that was my own personal thing. So they really didn't know anything about that.
Okay.
Friendship wise, I mean, I had a couple of girlfriends that were also abstinent, and so we kind of like helped each other out, with being accountable, encouraging each other, and
Okay.
just having that,
Yeah.
just having somebody to kind of like be there with you.
Right. The support.
That support.
Yes.
Right.
And one thing I love about God, right? We can come to him with anything, even the things we feel like he'll,
Mhm.
anybody else would look at us like we're crazy or talk about us behind our back. We can come to God and like, hey, God, I'm struggling with this. Like, this is a real thing. And he'll
Right.
give us the direction on how to protect ourselves from the thing that we're struggling with. So I do love that about God. So I love that you're so transparent in your book. So tell us a little bit about your writing journey. How was it? What was your journey like writing about something so personal?
Well, I mean, it was a little easier for me because some of my other books I wrote about personal things, but I just really felt like I really needed to write about my journey with abstinence because people need to know and understand that yes, you can do it. It's possible. There are people that are abstaining that are waiting until marriage. And if you fall, just get back up and start over. Like, don't condemn yourself. Don't say, I'm gonna go back out here and I'm just do my thing because it's not gonna
Right.
work. I tried it. I was like, well, I guess I must not be saved. I must not be this. And it's not even about your salvation is not based on what you do. That was just a struggle.
Yeah.
I still had that relationship with God, and God had to let me know that He's like, you're still my daughter.
Right.
I still love you, but this is just something I want to help you. Like I was trying to do it in my own strength, and that's why I was falling.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. Because we need God to help us with the things that we struggle with, right? Yes.
right?
So let's talk a little bit about your writing and your publishing process. So what route did you take with publishing your book?
Okay, so there is a guy that I know. He's an apostle. His name is Justin Ruffin. He lives in Maryland, and I actually was connected to him already, but he publishes books through 1229 Publishing Company. And
Okay.
so what I did was I inboxed him. I told him I had a book that I wanted him to publish for me, so I had to like fill out a little form, and he gave me some feedback questions of how I could, make my book a little bit better. What did I want to say in my book to kind of interact with the reader,
Okay.
and just to let them know, like give them some tips and just practical tools, and just talk about my process in detail, and just to encourage them overall. I
Yeah.
mean, that was the process, and it wasn't. I don't even remember how long it didn't really take that long,
Okay.
honestly. With working with him, he's really great at what he does. But yeah, it was released. I think it was in 2022, but it was like the beginning of the year.
Okay.
So yeah, and I think I wrote that book in like 2 weeks.
Okay. So that didn't take you very long at all.
Nah.
Yes. And then who is your target audience? I always like to ask this question. So when we think about making an impact with our book, we want to make sure it reaches the right people, right? So who is
Mhm.
your target audience for your book?
I would say probably like teenage girls, probably ages I'd say 16 up until like 30, or anyone that may be a little older. Like
Okay.
maybe they're not married, but because I'm 46 and I'm not married.
Well,
So but but yeah, I don't want to just limit it to just the younger people,
yeah.
because people my age and middle age, they need it too. So I feel like if you're single and you're really made up in your mind, okay, I want to abstain,
Okay.
then this is a book that'll give you some insight of the process, because the process is real. You
Yeah.
go through a lot of, at first you're good, and then you're like, hey, your moments, you get
Right.
lonely,
Yeah.
and you like, okay, but when I'm gonna get married, because if you desire to be married, it's like, okay, when I'm gonna get married, Lord, because I've been doing,
Okay. Yeah.
the weight becomes a weight sometimes.
Right. Just having faith in that waiting process, right? Yeah,
Right.
definitely. So tell us a little bit about, because you also mentioned that you wrote some other books as well. So tell us a little bit about those books as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna say the book that I wrote before, um, 10 years my journey with abstinence, was I Am Investment Worthy.
Oh,
And that book was basically, it actually came from something that God spoke to me
okay.
in 2021. He was like, you are investment worthy. And I was like, I'm up here like, what does that mean? So I was like, I looked up the words investment and worthy, but he was basically letting me know that being investment worthy has nothing to do with my physical appearance, what I have or possess, or any of those things. It's all about me being worthy because his son died for me, and I am his investment in the earth. He is the investor. So
Definitely.
that's where I'm investment worthy came from. And
Okay.
the cover of the book is two crowns, his crown and my crown. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I am investment worthy. All right. So how many other books do you have?
Well, that's like what, nine. I
Oh,
have
no.
another one
Okay.
in the works to be published. But let's see, it's God's Humble Voice. That was written in 2015. That was like a compilation of Facebook statuses that my mentor at the time challenged me to do that, because I'm actually a certified. I just have not, gotten to that just yet,
Okay. You
but
said,
I
I'm
plan on
sorry.
doing it.
You said you're
Certified,
certified.
certified like coach, like kind of like, I don't want to say life coach,
Okay.
but I did take a program with group coaching, and I
Okay.
have to get there like ramped up, and it's going to be called Arise and Thrive. So it is going to be based on like helping ladies with their goals, setting goals, and going in detail with that. I already have everything like written out. It's just I have to do my part
Yeah.
and put it together and make it
Okay.
an actual program. But let's see, God's Humble Voice, Transparency Heals in 2016, 2017. I wrote Surrendered Vessels, which is a compilation of, it was about ministers, female ministers.
Okay.
And then I was in a book with Carla R. Cannon. It was called Turbulence. Then for a while I didn't write anything. And
Okay.
I think in 2021 I was in anthology. I think I can't remember the name exactly. It's Fempreneurs, some I can't remember the name, but it's like I just remember it was Fempreneurs. It was with by Nadia Francois. She was
Okay.
the visionary. And then there was Reaffirmed by Dr. Tashana Taylor. It was a
Okay.
compilation with that. So that was another anthology. And then that's when I wrote I'm Investment Worthy after that. And then I wrote 10 Years with Abstinence.
Okay. So
And
you
my next It's Time to Flow. So
okay.
yeah, I've been doing some writing.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to an aspiring writer who has other tasks and roles that they have to juggle? What would you encourage them to do like in their writing journey and how to balance work, home, ministry, and writing?
I would just say don't don't try to make everything like perfect because things are always going to happen. You're
Yeah.
going to have to make time to write, even if it's just an hour or not even an hour, even if it's just 10, 15 minutes a day. Like, write your thoughts down because it's funny. Like, when I start writing, sometimes I can just keep writing, and the next thing I know, I got chapters, and then sometimes it's like I have nothing. But it's like you got to be in tune with that writing flow. You got to you know try to make space. Yeah, some people have, family, spouses, children, and all those other things. But in that time that you have to yourself, I would say like ask the Lord to help you because I've gotten stuck on books and stuff. I was like, Lord, I need you to help me because I know I need to finish this, but I don't know how to finish it, or I don't really know what you want me to say to the people. And he'll give it to you, but you have to be patient.
Yeah.
You have to be patient.
Yeah, so patience is definitely important when you are trying to become an author, just going through the publishing process, the steps, the rewrites that come with that. Patience is important. So tell us a little bit about your book that's getting ready to come out. Where are you in the process, and where are you with the release of that book?
Well, with the process, he did one edit. I'm still waiting to hear back. I did give him like a picture of a cover, but I haven't heard anything. But it's also because he does a lot of things too. So, like I said, it's all about patience. You have to
Definitely.
understand that, when people wear many hats, you have to be patient. And I've worked with him before, so I know he's a reliable person.
And that's
But
important.
I'm speculating that it's probably going to be before the end of August that it'll come out. And
Okay.
It's Time to Flow is the name of the book. And it's basically about how God was really giving me a lot of prophetic words about my destiny. It's about your destiny
Okay. I love that.
and how God will speak to you about your destiny. It's like because life happens, and I had got to a place where I was like, oh, I guess it's just gonna be life, and I'm just gonna do what I do, like work and the routine. And God was like, no. And so I would go to like different um gatherings. Like I've been to a few gatherings, And it's like God would use somebody to speak to me, and it would be about my destiny. And
Okay.
I was like, okay, now, like, okay, this is not a coincidence. Like, I had to like really pay attention and keep keep track of those words, record those words, or however, but keep up with the prophetic words that you receive from people. They gotta let you know if it's him and if it's not him, because these words were not any. Or you will get a house, you will get a spouse, you gonna get no. It won't. No,
Right.
this was in depth detail. Like, these people did not know me. It's like they knew my whole life, and I was just like, okay, God, you ain't gotta be telling the people my business, but he was just like, no, it's time for you to really really
Yeah.
get in line with me for real. Because we're not just here to just be saved and go to church and say, I'm a Christian.
Right.
It's purpose, and it's things he to do day by day,
Definitely.
even just interacting with people.
Right. And our
Right.
purpose is not just for us, it's
So
to make an impact in somebody else's life, right? We're supposed to
right.
be the light
And
of
like
the world to bring other people closer to him. So it's not just about
right,
go to work and that's it. Go to church and that's
right.
more to it than that, definitely.
Right. And like I said before, investment worthy. We are his investments in the earth. When he told me that, I was like, wow, your investments in the earth. Like, you put stuff in us, you gave us our gifts, our talents, our abilities, and our skills. What are we doing with it? And a
Right.
lot of us are just sitting on it like, oh well, that
Yeah.
ain't for me. Yes, it is. And in the book, I'm encouraging whoever reads it, like, look, it's not about you looking like this person or speaking like this person. It doesn't matter. What's important is you being obedient to the voice of the Lord, because he's like doing a clarion call. Like, come on,
That's it.
I got things for you I want you to do, and I guess I'm talking to you. So yeah.
Yes. Because somebody else's life is almost in your hands, right? So if you don't do what God is telling you to do, then you're letting somebody else down. And
Right.
that's one way to think about it. So I know that we have to get you back on when your new book comes out. And we have
Okay.
to make sure that we get you back on so that we can share about the release and things that you have going on with that book. So tell us a little bit about how we can connect with you on social media and then also support you and order your books.
Okay. So on social media, I do have an author page, author Monica Regina Jones. I have my personal page, Monica Regina Jones, and I put my full name because there are a lot of Monica Joneses on Facebook. So I put my full name to be distinctive.
Okay.
Um, I'm also on IG at MONREGJON. I'm not on TikTok yet. I'm not up there yet.
Okay.
What else? I think those are the main two that I'm on.
Okay. Okay.
As far as my books, like, you can order them from Amazon. I have to revamp another. I have to get another website because my other website had to be taken down. Reconstruct some things. But
Yeah.
my books can be found on Amazon, and I do have some books on hand for purchase for
Okay.
people. If they want to like email me, they can at jonesmonica564@yahoo.com, and just tell me what books you're interested in, and we can talk about the pricing and all that, and I can ship it to them. They can, send me their address. So yeah, I'm definitely good on the whole shipping your book thing. I don't keep people money. I don't do none of that. I'm very integral. So yeah.
Definitely. Well, I've enjoyed this conversation, and we'll make sure that we put all your contact information in the show notes as well so that listeners will be able to go and support you. So I always like to end with one question. What does the word impact mean to you, and how do you hope your books make an impact in the world?
Hmm. Impact. Impact to me means something that you can do every single day,
Mm.
because we come across so many people on a given day, and our kindness can impact the person. Our saying hello can impact the person. So it's not always about doing something big. You can be impactful in the small things that you do on a day-to-day basis. So that's what impact means to me.
Yes, I love it. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me this evening and sharing about your journey and sharing about your books. I've enjoyed this conversation. Like I said, we're going to have to get you back when your next book drops so we can chat about that one a little bit longer. Thank you so much,
Sure.
listeners, for tuning in. Make sure that you like, share, comment on this episode, and definitely go and support Monica with all of her amazing endeavors and connect with her on social media for the new things that she has coming as well. All right, take care.
Right. Thank you.